I'm sure you've heard the terms climate change and global warming, but do you know the impacts of this on the environment? Here's a brief explanation of how global warming works. When fossil fuels like coal and oil are burned to create energy, greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane are emitted into the atmosphere. The atmosphere warms because these gases trap an excess amount of heat, and that is what causes global warming. Today, we're going to focus on CO2 emissions and look at three of the impacts these emissions have on our environment. The vibrant colors of coral come from an algae known as zooxanthellae. This symbiotic algae provides food and energy to the coral through the process of photosynthesis. However, when corals get stressed, often by an increase in water temperatures, they expel the zooxanthellae and become white in color. This process is known as coral bleaching. Bleached coral is not necessarily dead, but is at a higher risk of mortality if high water temperatures continue. Sustaining some of Earth's most biodiverse ecosystems, coral reefs are home to over 1 million marine species. Corals provide not only shelter, but nutrients for the base of some of the ocean's food chains. However, without healthy coral reefs to sustain them, these species lack the necessary resources to survive. Yes, glaciers do melt naturally, but when too much heat is absorbed by greenhouse gases, glaciers start to melt at a faster rate because of the warmer atmosphere, and sea levels begin to rise. When this happens, coastal erosion occurs more frequently, putting coastal communities at a higher risk of flooding. Another egregious effect of melting glaciers is an increase in solar radiation. Glaciers have surfaces that reflect sunlight to sustain a mild climate, but with glaciers melting, the Earth absorbs more solar radiation. This radiation damages human DNA and can lead to cancer. However, humans are not the only ones affected by melting glaciers. Animals like walruses and polar bears depend on sea ice for traveling and hunting, but when this ice melts, they lose a vital part of their lifestyle. The sunlight zone is the warmest because of the direct sunlight it receives, as well as the heat captured in the atmosphere by greenhouse gases. Warm water has a lower oxygen supply than cold water, which increases the demand for oxygen by marine species. This is known as ocean warming driven deoxygenation. Although a lot of people don't think so, fish don't die when you take them out of water because they don't breathe oxygen. They actually need it to survive. They just get their oxygen through water and not the air. So, when deoxygenation occurs, marine life can experience harmful effects, including death. People all around the world are currently trying to find solutions to combat climate change, and although we haven't found a scalable solution, people are taking small steps to reduce their carbon footprint.